Hello patrons, how are you doing? Hello to all of our $3 patrons as well on this one. I rarely do videos for you guys because the $5 area is usually where all the sort of, I don't know, monthly Q&As and behind the scenes stuff goes up, but it's a bit of a weird month this month, so what with I've basically not been doing a normal working month. My baby girl is 4 weeks old now, and we've had updates for sure, but it's not been the normal stuff. I'm technically not working, but every once in a while I get a bit of time. So for instance, we had the patron Q&A this month is just text, and we'll have more stuff for the $5 folks. We've got we'll have like early snippets of both documentaries going up as well in the next week or so. So all that's to come. And then I had 2 public posts, one for Esteban's Fighting a Community doc, and then one for Jeremy and the Dream Daddy thing, Alana's Dream Daddy project. So I figured I'd do something extra for everyone while I'm just out getting groceries or doing what I've learned is really important, which is just taking a moment to get out of the house, just for a little bit, to get a bit of mental respite, and also just to get groceries and stuff, because you don't leave the house all that often, or it's harder to do it. So it's a bit, I don't know, it's good to get out and refresh the brain and reset the brain. In fact, video games have probably been the biggest thing to help me reset my brain over the past 4 weeks, to just like give yourself that little bit of like mental distance or whatever. So on this, I'm going to be mostly talking about the games I've been playing for the past 4 weeks, and I've played a bunch of games. So having a newborn child is interesting, because what you're effectively just doing is, and apologies if this, hopefully the sound is good on this, I have no idea, I'm recording on my phone, is that essentially all you're doing is making sure they sleep and feed, just sleep and feed and grow, and sleep and feed and grow, and giving them good sleeping habits and getting them good feeding habits, and mostly just making sure that they're not starving. So what that ends up doing is myself and my wife are doing a lot of like shift work. Like sometimes she sleeps in her bassinet, sometimes she's not in the mood for that, sometimes we have her in front of the television, sometimes we have her up in the bedroom. But what it's meant is that like I spend not that much time in our living room in our house, except like the evenings with my wife, if we're not going out somewhere or going for a walk or doing something, because I spend most of my time in the basement in Noclip studios, as it were. So I've spent an inordinate amount of time in the living room, like that I never really did before. So I ended up moving my PlayStation 4 upstairs, which is the Pro I got when we did the Horizon Zero Dawn stuff. So my wife's PS4 is also upstairs. We have them basically like on top of each other. We're hot swapping the HDMI when she's playing Jurassic Park Evolution, which she's mad into. But I've been playing a bunch of games on the PS4, just because it's so handy and it looks good, and I got a big back catalogue of stuff that I hadn't been playing. The one I played the most is Bloodborne, and I've been tweeting a bunch about it. So I played Bloodborne when it first came out. I remember I either bought it or I got a code. I think I bought it. It was back when I was working at GameSpot. I almost said GameStop. GameSpot, my first year in the US, and I kind of enjoyed it. Like I got what it was. I kind of understood it a little bit more than I understood the Dark Souls stuff, but I wasn't like, it didn't really grab me or hook me. Like I was like, okay, this is a hard game, and you got to press at it. And like lots of hard games, I gave a good college try and then bounced off pretty quickly. So what I did this time, I guess I apparently had played 10 hours before. I had no idea. I had a save game with 10 hours on it. I don't know, maybe 5 hours of that was just idling on the menu. I couldn't tell you. But I gave it a go. I made a new character. I started from the start, and I don't know when the moment was. I think I'd beaten Gascoigne before on my previous playthrough, and I beat him this time, and I did it in a shitty way. Like I did the music box, and I was healing myself non-stop, like blood vial. Like I probably used 15 in the fight. It's just not the way you're supposed to play that game. So I don't know if it was that. I'm trying to think. It might have been one of the bosses after that. It might have been the Cathedral Ward when I started to like fight harder enemies and get good at them. Actually, you know what? It wasn't. It was that area in Yarnham, that one main street you go down all the time, where there's a bunch of them walking around with sights, and there's the fire pit and a bunch of the sniper shooters. And I remember finding that so hard, and then getting to the point where I just had my tactic down for that whole area. I think that was probably the moment where it started to click. But this game is like literally in my like top 5 all-time games now. It's fucking brilliant. And I'm not into like hard games or like slashy games or third-person action games, or like I don't like Devil May Cry or fucking what's that one with all the Shogun guys in it? I forget what's it called. Dynasty Warriors. Like any of that stuff. This isn't that game, but like I thought the connective tissue was probably closer to something like that. And it's not. It's, you know what it actually reminds me of is, it reminds me of Battlegrounds, because I can't not play any game now compared to Battlegrounds. It reminds me of Battlegrounds because it's about like patience and like tactics. Like having strategy is so important. Like having strategy to put yourself in the right position so that when things go wrong, you can sort of adapt to it, and also that like moment to moment decision making that you have in Battlegrounds, where it's like, oh, someone's flanking this way, I got a bit of a, you're using like the sum total of your knowledge to like figure out how to kill them. And it's the same in this. It's like you're using your knowledge of each of these enemies and the weird way in which they you know, their animations are and the timing they do and all this sort of stuff to like trying to out them, or trying to best them, trying to out them. They're all gay, they're all closeted beasts. And then the other thing is it's just the fucking like the art design, the production design, whatever you want to call it, it's just like fantastic. It also runs amazing on PlayStation 4 and PS4 Pro anyway. So I've put over 100 hours into Bloodborne alone, and I'm at the end boss, and I almost killed him on my first go, because I'm definitely the type of person who's like, I'm pouring all my energy into strength, like agility and health or whatever, and I'm just using the saw cleaver that's been leveled up. Like I'll get into all the meta stuff probably on my next playthrough, and I was almost gonna just go and New Game Plus it, but then I ended up instead I guess I was at the boss fight, and then a bunch of people were tweeting me, get the DLC and play through that, and I hadn't gotten the DLC because I didn't get like, there's probably like a, you know, prepare to die version of that as well or something, right? Like a version that has that in it as well. But actually, I'm gonna move lane here. Move over. Thank you. So I downloaded the DLC and I've played a bunch of that, and I think I have to give it. I feel like I'm supposed to be over leveled for it, I think. But the bosses are really hurting me on this one, so I'm summoning people left, right, and center just to help. But even so, that first boss, where I'm at, there's a bunch of guys that are really hard. The guys with the flamethrowers are really hard. The boss that I'm at is like, it morphs halfway through. The first half of it, I was able to take it out no problem, but then the second half really messed with me. It like, what's it do? It turns into like a bunch of people or something. It's like it's the one past the guys with the flamethrowers. Anyway. I digress. So I'll get back into it anyway, but I felt the momentum sort of pull back a little bit during my time with Bloodborne, so then I played a bunch of Dark Souls maybe on the first week, just trying it out, like trying them both out, and then I really went sort of deep into Bloodborne. So then I decided, I'll give a go of Dark Souls the good college try. I now have played about 50 hours of Dark Souls. And I played about 4 of those not knowing that I could just hold the shield up, because all I was doing was like trying to get that riposte, you know, parry and riposte, which is kind of the way you should be playing the game anyway, but like not knowing that I could even just hold the shield up against like a bunch of little shitty skeletons that aren't worth countering like that, made a lot of those early sections a lot more, and the boss fights especially, a lot more difficult than you needed to be. But it's good, and I learned a lot of how to play Bloodborne through Dark Souls and vice versa. Like definitely the parry stuff I learned from Bloodborne helped in Dark Souls, and then in Dark Souls a lot of the like just simple circling and hitting people in the back, which I don't think I'd been doing enough of in Bloodborne. So it's really good. I feel like super lucky that I've essentially tapped into this whole subgenre of games that I had never played before, and now there's like 4 good games. I don't know, maybe there's a bad one in there, maybe Dark Souls 2 is crap or something. I don't actually know. I never really read up about any of these games. But I'm really excited because not only have I enjoyed Bloodborne, I will definitely play Bloodborne through again. I love Dark Souls. I'm not sure if I'll play through that again, but I've also got Dark Souls 2 and 3 to play. So I've now got like a year of games to get me through. And I know that once our baby girl is a little bit older, I won't have as much TV time. We're going to try and like limit screens in the house at all once she starts to notice them. We don't like she doesn't face any of them yet or anything like that. We're not using our phones that much around her for the same reason. I did write my Q&A posts on my laptop, but she wasn't facing it, so I mean, she can't really see much of the one anyway, so it's not that big a deal, but I'm just trying to have good discipline, I guess. But yeah, so I don't know how much time I'll have, especially when I get back editing and working, how much video game time I'll have then. Probably not all that much. But yeah, it was really worth it to do all of this stuff, I'll definitely say. I played a bunch of other games though as well, so I wanted to sort of dive into some of those, that other games that I've sort of been skimming through. I have played a bunch of Dead Cells. I think the fact that I started playing it right as I started playing Dark Souls and Bloodborne meant that it's just not as interesting to me at the moment, or like maybe the reward loop isn't as strong because it's a real, run-based game, whereas the thing that makes me feel good in Dark Souls and Bloodborne is, I've gotten I found a ladder, or I found a new bonfire or whatever, or a lamp, like knowing that like I have etched a new like starting point in the game is what makes me feel really satisfied. And maybe that stuff happens in Dead Cells, probably through the upgrade system, I imagine. Just your ability to churn through those early levels probably gets a lot easier. But I'm enjoying it, but it hasn't hooked me the way I've heard on a bunch of podcasts. People are losing their mind over it, so I'm looking forward to I'm going to keep playing that and see if that does it. I was listening to John Bombcast and I heard Riker talking about WarioWare Gold. Buddy, that's dangerous. Not cool. So I got that. I got the DS out of storage and booted that up. I bought that, and I also bought Link to the Past. I got on Amazon for like a steal. It was on sale for like 15 quid or something like that. So those were the two like DS games I thought I might play, because I've not played much Switch at all with her around. I don't know why. But I've completed WarioWare. I haven't played Zelda at all yet, but I've burned through WarioWare. Well, the story's not that long, but I've played a bunch of like the challenge modes and a lot of the other bits and bobs, and it's really good. I love it. I think it's like the quintessential WarioWare collection. I usually, like in Smooth Moves and stuff, especially the older ones, there was a bunch of mini games in it that I was like, these aren't as strong as these ones. And the sort of the general quality bar for mini games in this one is like fantastic, especially all the Nintendo ones. Some of them are repeated, I believe, but especially all the like Nintendo game ones they've done. Like there's little bits that are like from Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time and Mario and Donkey Kong. I think there's a Star Fox level as one of the boss fights, like half of one, or like a little bit of one. So all that sort of stuff is really cool. So I've enjoyed that a lot. I didn't think it would be a particularly good baby game, but it's pretty good. It's like, short bursts, real intense 2-minute games, and then you're kind of done. I'm trying to think what else I played. What else have I got on? I tried to play some Elder Scrolls Online. All the World of Warcraft stuff was bumming me out because I really wanted to play WoW, Battle for Azeroth. I used to be a big WoW head, and I've not really gotten properly into one of them. I played like in a while. Like I played how much of Cataclysm? Like maybe 15 hours, 20 hours of Cataclysm when it came out, and it just never stuck with me. And I'm always reticent because I have a character that I still like leveling up, and I'm always reticent to I don't know, to do the whole power level thing. I also have like a complication. I think my account is still in Europe. I still think it's an EU account. I forget. I remember when I was trying to swap it to America, they needed like my passport and stuff, so I don't know, maybe it is America now, I can't remember. Maybe that's all been streamlined as well with all the new server stuff, I don't know. So I was jonesing to play some of that. So in the end I found a copy of Tamriel Unlimited on PSN for $4.99, and I don't know how that works because I know you have to. There's a subscription model, but I think I'm just on the base version or something, because I don't want to spend all that much on that. But I think I don't know, because I played it for like 10 hours and nothing happened. It kept saying like, oh, do you want to upgrade? It's like these two different versions. So I'm guessing the first one was like the base one and the other one is like a better version or whatever. I should probably have looked into this, but I was playing the game and it was a fun game, so I was like, well, I'm playing the fucking game and I don't feel like I need to upgrade anything, so sure. So that's been interesting. It's mostly interesting because I guess I always thought it was primarily a third-person game. You can play in first person, but it's kind of optimized to play in first person, weirdly enough. And I'm not, and so it comes across as a sort of like a half step to a real Elder Scrolls game, because you're picking up like, there's no wheels of cheese or anything, but you're picking up some stuff, and so it feels kind of a little. I think I have to reset my expectations a bit or something, because I was expecting like a normal third-person-y thing, and now I've kind of got this like different type of first-person thing. It's not bad. It's just like not maybe what I was expecting. So I don't know. I might get back into that. I played a bit of it and I enjoyed it. I needed something that was a little bit less intense, because playing Bloodborne when you're minding a kid is really good for keeping you awake, for the times you need to be awake. But for just general, like, I don't know, burning time, it's not exactly the most relaxing experience, I'll say that. And then what else? I played a bunch of weird games. I downloaded Dead Rising for the PlayStation 4, and I played a good bit of that, and then died and lost like maybe not that much, maybe 90 minutes of progress, because I forgot about the stupid save system. I like beat a boss and I got killed by some stupid zombie, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, I haven't saved in like almost 2 hours. So that really bummed me out, so I didn't play any more of that. I played, I'm trying to think, I had a bunch of like, I just have like a back catalogue on PlayStation, like Bloodborne. I was like, oh, there's loads of games here. I just didn't play enough of them, you know. I played them a little bit. I'm actually going to go to the Noclip mailbox. I need to pick up. We got a package. All right, check that out. Yeah, so I don't know what else. What else I played? Did I boot up? Oh, No Man's Sky. The first week Baby arrived. Maybe the second week is when No Man's Sky came out. So I played a bit of that. I played like, I say a bit. I played about 20 hours of that probably. And I enjoyed it, but I still didn't grasp the economy enough. So it's another one I'm going to go back to and play a bit more of. Yeah, I was struggling a lot, just like constantly struggling to make like launch fuel, like just stuff I shouldn't have to worry about anymore. And I think the discovery in that game is really good. I mean, we go back to when I interviewed Sean Murray years ago about how he admired Minecraft because they didn't tell you the recipes, right? Like you can see all that sort of stuff in No Man's Sky really well. So I think there's a lot of I don't know. There's a lot of mechanics to admire in that game. I'm just not. It just hasn't like clung on to me quite yet. And I think there's definitely other bits and bobs I've been playing every now and again, but like the lion's share of my time has been devoted to the Souls games. And then a bunch of just like getting work stuff done. I'm not working, but a lot of work stuff is going on. Jeremy is sending me a first cut of the Alana's Dream Daddy project today, which I think he managed to edit so we don't need her to do any voiceover, which is handy. She's ready and willing to do it, but I don't. By the way, I don't live this far away from. I'm just driving in circles a bit. I need to get out of the house. I don't. Yeah, so I don't think that. She was prepared to do VO. If it needed it, we'd need it. I think Jeremy prefers doing stuff that it doesn't. She's done like stand-ups, so there's inserts of her introing and outroing and doing all bits and bobs like that. And obviously interviewing everyone there. So I'm interested to see how it looks. According to Jeremy, Seven Esteban, we've been keeping up to date on text and email for the past couple of weeks. It sounds like it's about 45 minutes or something, which is pretty cool. So we'll stick the credits on that. It's about 40, 48, maybe 50. Yeah, he says it's a real good narrative, very emotional apparently, very like a lot of stuff happened to that team, I think, during that process, like difficult time, and then sort of post-release as well. So I think that's going to be a very interesting story. Esteban's Spooky Doc is coming along really good as well. I think both of them are going to land similar-ish times, and it looks like Esteban's been doing a lot of work recently, so I was telling him to take a little bit of time if you want. So I think that might be we'll see when it comes. It might be a mid-September guy. We'll see about that. We have this is like, I'm not working so much, but this is the busiest time for Noclip right now. I've probably spent more as well in the past, or have budgeted more in the past couple of weeks than at any other time in our history. Not just like funding the two projects, but also there's a bunch of other big docs that we're planning for the next 6 months that are kind of a bit on top of each other. Like, I'm trying to spread them out as much as I can. But just to give you a bit of insight, like, first of all, we have the Dream Daddy doc, then we have the Fighting a Community doc, then we have a documentary, the last video from our Bethesda thing, which is a doc on the creation of Blades, which is their mobile game, but also the creation of Fallout Shelter. It's from the same team, and it's really good. It's a very strong doc. I like it a lot. So I'm editing that one. I've got like selects pulled, but like haven't dived into the edit that much. But I don't think it's going to be a particularly long edit for me. I think I'll get the lion's share of it done in about a week or a week and a half. So that one's probably going to be ready around the end of September. Getting overtaken on a normal road here. Weird dude. Wow, everyone's overtaking me. I'm doing the speed limit, guys. I guess you're allowed to. No, you're not actually. The lines aren't. That happens a lot back home in Ireland. If you drive normally, people will overtake you on country roads, but these are double yellow lines, so I don't know. Anyway, I'm paying attention to the road, don't worry. So anyway, what was I saying? I was saying, Dream Daddy, the Fallout thing. We have the Able Gamers stuff. We're probably going to be filming with them again in October. We've already done one filming day with them in Virginia and Harper's Ferry about 2 months ago now, I think. And I did one day in New York about 3 months ago with Vinny Caravella, which is for that doc as well. So that's going to come together. I don't know when that will come out. I keep collecting stuff and being like, okay, we've got another. It's just such an important story that I really want to make sure we do it properly and not rush it. Then it looks like we have a doc recording somewhere in the south for October, and it's something very interesting that I don't know. Actually, people already know too much about what's going on, so I don't want to do too much. I'm gonna go up this road here. I think this is the way back. Dead end. Nope, sure isn't. All right. Yeah, there's another doc so we have another big doc planned for them, and we're also talking to a bunch of bigger studios about another big doc to be recorded in the November-December segment, which we do every year, which is like the kind of what we did Doom 2016 and we did Horizon. So we've another sort of biggie. So we've a really good spread at the moment. It looks like these two little sort of smaller indie type stories. Another one of the Bethesda guys was sort of a little bit different. The other doc that we're planning is super different. The Able Gamers stuff, then a big studio, and then we have some stuff that I've been trying to do for a while now. Might actually end up coming together in early 2019. So the next 9 months are super busy. In fact, the big doc one is the problem I have, the one for December and November, because I think we might have two and they're both really big. So I don't I don't know what's going to happen. It might be a situation where we just film both of them, and then maybe I get Jeremy to do one of them or something like that. But so there's a lot. And kind of the next 6 months, I'm kind of like upping our spending quite a bit, with the hope that there's a good return on investment in terms of subscribers and maybe patrons as well. The other thing that's happening is that on September 12th, we are turning 2 years old, which is really fun. And I'm planning to do something for it. It won't be that week, I don't think, because I just don't have the bandwidth, and I'm not working. I'm taking time off for another 4 weeks basically, while all this stuff is getting all these docs are, time off. I'm still producing all these other docs that the guys are working on, giving feedback and getting them to where, and I'll have to put the credits in and do all that sort of stuff. But I'm not doing a 40-hour week, let's say, until mid September. So I don't know. I might do a stream that day. I think I said to my wife that I might take that day off baby stuff and just stream for the day or do something just to celebrate it. But we'll see about that. The other thing is Jeremy might be over this side of the country again for a project in the next couple of months, so I might just wait until then and then get him and Esteban, if Esteban's available, to come down and do something then. I don't know, but I'm still trying to work out what that thing is. And then there's a bunch of other stuff I'm going to be doing on the sort of wider I guess funding / community stuff. The first one is our YouTube membership has kicked in. So we currently have 2 members of our YouTube channel. Shout out to our 2 members. They're probably not patrons as well, I'm guessing. So I'm going to start trickling out behind the scenes stuff to them as well, including this video actually. So hi. We haven't made a massive push on that stuff yet, but it's definitely going to be something that we'll have a plan for, and then put a trailer out so everyone knows what's going to go on that. I've not pushed it too hard yet. I'll put it in the comments of one of our videos, but I'll be doing that soon. We're also going to get a bit more merch done. Blake is doing another design, who did this awesome t-shirt for us and stickers. He is working on another design for us. I'm also looking to get a hoodie done because everyone was asking for hoodies, which I think is something, especially for the winter, we'll try and sort out, which will be pretty cool. And then I have another idea, which I almost pulled the trigger on last year but didn't have time to, where I want to do something for our 2nd anniversary / the sort of holiday season. I had an idea last year of doing a loot box or something, which is that we do like a blind box or something. Like, it's a blind box, but it's not, everything that's in it. It's like taking the piss out of loot boxes, but also like putting together a bunch of Noclip goodies. Because at the moment all we do is sell the shirts, but people want like stickers and art and stuff like that. So what I'm thinking of doing is putting together like a really weird like collector's box of the stuff that we've done for the past 2 years. Legally we can't sell the docs, just by way of the licenses we've done. It's the reason we're able to get docs out so fast and so cheap is that we basically do stuff for Creative Commons. We don't try and get sign off for everything we do. We're making YouTube videos. If we did it the other way around, it would take fucking forever and it would cost a fortune. So we're not able. The bad end of that is that we're not able to sell them. The sort of that's the reason we can't sell them. But I still think there's other cool stuff that we can do. So what I want to do with this box is basically do like, in it you're gonna get like stuff like, oh, here's a bunch of artwork. Here's a bunch of the stickers that we hand out for free at all the conferences. Here's like a USB stick with a bunch of like pirate style behind the scenes weird shit that never goes on the internet. That just like weird shit, like conceptual fun stuff, behind the scenes stuff, and like record a load of it, like 2 hours worth of something, and stick it on a USB with like a bunch of other stuff, like high-res versions of the art and things like that. Like, just call it like a dead drop or something, or I don't know, something like that. Maybe it's got like URLs to like places you can download the docs, or I don't know, something like fucking weird like that. I kind of want to do something like that. So that's another thing that's kind of stewing at the moment, and it's really cool actually getting Esteban and Jeremy to take the editing work over and work on their own project is really cool, because not only are we getting a bunch of people who wouldn't have done docs in the past, or a bunch of people who let me turn this thing off. Hopefully you can hear me better. Not only a bunch of folks who different sort of perspectives. Having Alana is great because we're going to get a new perspective that way as well, but also it's allowing me to like work on a bunch of annoying businessy stuff that I have to do all the time that I never really have a chance to do. I just did 4 months of expenses one night, just sitting at 4 a.m. or whatever, which is really cool. I got through all my all the organizing is happening because I'm being able to just spend a bunch of time sending out emails and texting people and doing all that sort of stuff. So it's been fun. It's been really good, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I just want to say thank you as ever for supporting the work that we do. It was really important to me that I take time off to spend with my family, to spend time with my baby girl, to support my wife. There was never a doubt in my mind that that was what I needed to do, and that takes preference over work. The balancing act was ensuring that I wasn't taking a month off in terms of people's funding. As much as I'm sure all of you would agree that the good thing to do is for me to be a good dad and husband, it's not mutually exclusive from the fact that I should also not waste your money. So I think that was a really important thing to do for me, was to make sure that we had other projects going on and that the work was still getting done without me. And it also was part of my ethos of going into our third year of expanding our offering. And I mean that as expanding. I will keep being on docs, and I will do as many docs myself as I can each and every year. What I really see this as is actually increasing the volume of docs we make by funding other people's work, because I think that's one of the things that I learned, is that a lot of the docs, as much as I like working, there is a limit on the amount that I can do every year, just by virtue of the fact that I edit and host and everything else. So this is a really elegant way of basically having my cake and eating it, as it were. So yeah, thank you so much. I want to really say thanks, because thanks to you I can, and thanks to Jeremy, Esteban and Alana, I have the sort of emotional space to step away from work. If I didn't, then I wouldn't be able to, and I'd be a bad dad and a bad husband. And it's all thanks to you guys, and thanks to our amazing producers as well. This car is hot as balls, and I have to go pick up some stuff from our mailbox. So thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me on my little excursion out of the house. Yeah, if you've got any questions, put them in the comments below, and if you don't, then I'll see you in the next video. Behind the scenes stuff, more of it coming for patrons, early access as well for all you $10 folks. Yeah, I hope you're having a good time. Go play Bloodborne, it's fucking great.